Welcome, race fans, once again here to Virtual Racing Network. We are back, hopefully better than ever here tonight, as we are here with the Northwest Xfinity series. This is part of the Northwest Racing series, one of two broadcasts, of course. Then we will have the Truck series coming up on Wednesday night. Same time, same place, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But before we get into all of the racing details, of course, we need to thank all of the sponsors that have made this race possible. Of course, here for tonight's race, ourselves here at Virtual Racing Network. This is the Virtual Racing Network 150. We are sponsoring this race here, but this entire series, this league, has one primary sponsor that makes it all possible, and they're playing double duty here tonight as well for the broadcast. That is Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm. make sure you check them out at wallsbeardco.com. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here, and neither would this league. So they are a must to check out, especially here for the holidays. Make sure you get some beard balm ordered for the man of the house. Definitely need to take care of it, so no better way to do so than with some natural and organic products there. Again, that is Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm. Make sure you check it out at wallsbeardco.com. Of course, as well, here for the broadcast anyway, the Northwest Racing Series themselves, the official one-to-go sponsor here for tonight's race. Just talked about them. Make sure you stay tuned to check them out tonight, of course, and on Wednesday night. Ohio IndyCar League here for 2018 anyway. They are the official IndyCar League of VRN, so if you're looking to get into some IndyCar racing, make sure you check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/Ohio IndyCar League for all the latest information. SimSpeedShop.com, your one-stop shop for custom-made button boxes and e-brakes. If you are an iRacer, these two items are a must, especially if you're a rallycross racer. For those e-brakes with an ever-expanding list of tracks, you definitely need one of those. And those button boxes make great gifts for the kiddos on iRacing, or for yourself here on iRacing as well. And last but not least, that is iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, the official graphic sponsor here of VRN. We use them, and if you're looking to get into broadcasting, you should too. Make sure you check them out. Again, that's ibog.co is the website. They are your sim race broadcast graphic source. Make sure you do check them out today. That being said, we have about 23 minutes before we go into qualifying. It is a night race here. We were going to have day-night transitions, and it would be getting dark about race time. However, the beta UI here for iRacing is, like it says, it is a beta. It is not functioning properly at all times. That is why it is in beta stage. Didn't work out here tonight, so we are running just a night race instead of day-night transitions. We got about 13 drivers that have made the trip here. And we're going to quickly get over and talk to some of these drivers here. We'll probably talk to Jeff just because he is at the top of the charts. But before we do that, let's get Josh Coley in here, as he is one of our drivers. So we'll pull him up very quickly here and talk to him. Again, we're going to be trying to talk to our chase drivers here. And actually, he has dropped connection, so we do not have him. So we'll go down to the next chase driver, which is Chris White. So give us a minute. We'll pull him up here with us and get him on the radio. Chris White, you got a copy?
Yeah, Charles, go ahead.
Well, we got you here on the mic real fast, so we want to talk to you here, as well as we're going to pull up your season stats here. Some of these are a little skewed because of the chase. Roughly 13 top 10s, 11 top 5s, 1 pole, 1 win. That was the win to get you in, and I believe it should be 13 starts or 14, not 15. But regardless how many starts, you have that 1 win. It has eluded you here in the chase, as obviously all but 2 people it has eluded. But what is the car handling tonight, and not doing the day-to-night transition? Is that going to benefit you here, or do you think it's going to hurt you, as you might have been practicing for that?
Well, you know, they say practice makes perfect, so we're out here practicing. We're gearing up for what is now a complete night race. I think that's going to help some a little bit, so, to the point where you don't have to strategize or plan over that transitioning of time and track temperatures. We're just starting off in the dark, so we're just going to be battling the night track temps and surfaces. So I think it's going to be a little bit easier tonight than it would have been with the transition, but whenever iRacing gets that beta fixed and gets that thing going, it's sure going to throw out some challenges.
Well, it definitely is going to throw some challenges out there. So we obviously won't have to battle with changing stuff as much on the car here. This particular track, I know some people really hate it, some people really love it. What are your thoughts on it? As I do believe we talked to you before, and I believe you won here last season.
Yeah, Auto Club is it's a fun track. It's 2 miles wide open, basically pedal to the floor racing. You got many grooves, many lanes. There's lots of room for passing. You just have to be able to, just hold your line and be patient getting around this track and not burn up your tires. Of course, tires are important. Keeping that right front healthy as long as you can. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We did get the win here earlier this year in Season 1. Hopefully we can have the same result here tonight. Fun track. You're going to see a lot of good racing, good side-by-side action.
Well, we definitely look forward to that. And before we let you go here, of course, we want to give you a chance for those shout-outs. So who does be here for tonight's race?
Yeah, tonight we're closing out round 1 here in the Northwest Xfinity Series. We're still in it, and hopefully we can advance to round 2. Simstar Motorsports, the 00 Chevy Camaro. Hopefully you see us up front. Definitely got to thank you guys with BRN. Charles up in the booth. Great broadcast, as always. And got to thank Waltz Beer Co. Definitely for putting up with the series and providing us this platform to race on, and sponsoring the series as a whole and whatnot. And, yeah, big thanks to them. Thanks to everybody out here in the series coming out here every week and keeping this thing going. It's been a lot of fun.
Definitely has. And we're going to get you back to Ray Chandler's. We're going to put him back down there. And while we look to see who we're going to pull down next to talk to here, let's go ahead and pull up your point standings here. We will pull those up, and we will leave those up here for just a little bit. As you see right now, coming into tonight's race with a 16-point lead, that is Jason Berg with 1,193 points. Behind him, of course, is Sean Breitzman with 1,177 points, 16 behind. Those two have wins here, and I do not see Jason Berg here with us. Sean Breitzman is here. So again, those two drivers have wins here in this round 1 of the chase, so they are locked in going into round 2. The next one on the bubble would be, or I guess really not on a bubble, but behind them is Mark Walls and Chris White, who we just talked to, Brian Barnes, and Jeff Stabnow. And so we're going to talk to Jeff Stabnow, not just because he's at the fastest here at the charts, but he is right in the cutoff point, and he is actually only separated by 2 points between him and Josh Coley, who hopefully makes it back, had connection issues here, and has since dropped from it. So we definitely want to talk to Jeff here, and hopefully not add to that pressure. But we'll definitely get a word in with him. So we're going to see if we can grab him. So just hang tight with us. We're going to be back in just a few seconds. All right, we do have that message out to Jeff, so we'll be seeing if we can get him here in just a few moments. We'll definitely have a word back, but while we're waiting on that message to come through, confirmation that we can get him in here, looking, of course, in 7th and 8th place is Josh Coley with 1,071, and Corey Walters in 8th. With 1,034. So, again, the really battle that we're going to be watching here tonight is going to be between Jeff Stabnow and Josh Coley. Corey Walters is here, so we'll be waiting for that as well to see if maybe he can sneak in. Hopefully, Josh Coley does make it back. Having that issue there is definitely going to eliminate him if he can't get back, as he is outside the top 6 right now. That is where you need to be. That's what we're going to focus on here tonight, is those top 6 drivers, and of course 7th and 8th if they can manage to get into the top 6. So even if Josh Coley is not here, Corey Walters has his work cut out for him if he wants to get up to Jeff Stabnow, and I don't know if he has enough cars here to actually pass him and gain enough positions to actually make anything happen. So this is going to be very interesting to see. We see Jeff is still out on the track right now, so we know we can't communicate with him here at the moment. We want to let him get as much practice in as we can. So we're going to go ahead and run through the rest of your points here, just going through 11th through 20th, as these guys are still battling for position as well. Gary Nichols currently with 269 points, and I don't see him here tonight. Some of these guys start to fade off as the season comes to an end. Andy Vogt as well, he is not here with us. William Fletcher is here, currently sitting. I believe we saw William Fletcher here with us. We could be mistaken, but I was pretty sure he was here. But I do not see him here, so we spoke too soon. He was in the other lobby where the iRacing Beta didn't quite want to work with us. And it looks like Josh Coley is back, so he is good to go. Of course, Stephen Paulson not here. Frank Harris not here. Chris Walters, I don't see him here tonight either. So these guys back here further in the points, not here at the moment. So we'll have to see who does pop in later on in this race. But again, we're just waiting to get that word in with Jeff when he is done on the track. We don't want to take away too much of his time or anybody's time, especially these drivers in the chase. But we'll go ahead and leave those up and just go over a little bit of how the race is going to go down tonight. We'll be keeping an eye on the air temp, the track temp, all of that good stuff here tonight. Right now, of course, 4 turns. It's a pretty simple track here. Say simple, it's a standard track. 2 miles though. This track is a monster. We'll look to see if these guys can get a little bit of draft out of these cars, possibly. We'll see. We have 75 laps on the books, 150 miles. Right now, your track temp is 78 degrees. Will it cool down here? Will that temperature go up? That is what we are going to be looking for here. Of course, wind speed 2 miles per hour out of the north. Pretty much the standard there. So I don't see that changing too much, as that should be stationary. But that track temp, 78 degrees, is we will be keeping a very close eye on that to see if it goes up or down throughout the night. But again, what we're waiting on is confirmation from Jeff, and we can get him in here to talk to him about that battle between him and Josh Coley. Only 2 points separating them, and of course they are. Jeff is on the bubble of not making it. Josh Coley on the bubble of trying to get in. So we have a lot to go over with those two. But again, we're trying to let him get as much practice as we can. So we're going to go ahead and take the point standings off of your screen. We have about 12 and a half minutes left. And it looks like we got about 15 drivers that have made it in. We want to go over your fastest lap here real quick here, as you can see there on the top of your screen. Fastest lap was set by Jeff Stabnow on his 3rd lap here. He has completed about 67 laps here in practice. Of course, only on his 3rd was his fastest with a 40.410. Was that a qualifying lap, or is that a lap he's going to run consistently? That's what we will talk to him too when we get that chance to. Is that going to be a consistent lap, or is it a qualifying lap that he can't run every time? We'll wait to see, as we see a lot of consistent 41.0s from people here, so I don't think that's going to be a lap that he is going to be able to replicate over and over again in tonight's race. So again, these are all the questions that we are going to try and get answered as quickly as possible. But before we do that, hopefully everybody is enjoying the new 1440p. We are trying some new things. Hopefully this gets rid of the pixelation for you here tonight, as we want to give a big shout out to Jeff for helping us out. If it wasn't for Jeff, a lot of this wouldn't be happening. This is because of him that we are able to try to get rid of this pixelation. So a big shout out to Jeff for that. But again, we're just about ready. I think he may be pulling it into the pits, and we may be able to talk to him for just a very short time before we get this thing going to qualifying. So we'll see here momentarily. But before we do, we're going to take a quick 30-second break here. And never mind, we do have Jeff. So, Jeff, welcome to the booth, and we have a lot of questions for you here tonight.
Uh-oh.
Well, first off, we were just talking about how you're the fastest one in here. Right behind you is Josh Coley, second fastest. We don't know, and we'll let you hold on to that secret if that's a qualifying time or a consistent time that you're going to be running. But you are sitting in sixth place, right in the cutoff spot. You are in. Josh Coley is out, separated by 2 points. How much of your A game are you bringing here tonight?
Well, as much as we can. Two bad races. We made some mistakes in the pits at Talladega, and we made some mistakes pitting there at Dover, and that's got us in a hole here. So, gonna need an A game. Can't mess up.
Well, the good news is if you bring your A game here tonight, you advance and you move on to the next round. Points reset. So that's kind of a little bit of relief. Not much of relief, but knowing that they reset will help you out a little bit. We don't want to take too much of your time here. We know you obviously want to get out there and practice. But getting to that second round and getting back-to-back championships, what would that do for you, that confidence boost, knowing that you could win 2 in a row here championships?
Oh, well, I mean, 2 in a row would be great, right? I think kind of got the monkey off our back last year and got that first one under the belt. So, this year we're just going to try to go out there and have some fun and get it. Some pretty stiff competition. You got Mark Walls, Jason Berg, Sean Brightsman, Chris White, Brian Barnes. I mean, the list goes on of guys who are just fantastic drivers. So this one will definitely be a lot tougher than the first one if I was to get it. But I don't know. We'll just go out there and do our best.
Well, personally, I think it was because we were here broadcasting that you won. We did pick you a lot of the time, so, I take credit for that, even though I may not should have. But, all jokes aside, you have a tough race ahead of you here. This track's tough. You got Josh Coley nipping at your heels, trying to take that spot. So hopefully you can get on and move on to the next round. But again, we don't want to keep you too long, so we know you have some shout-outs here. So who would those be? And we'll get you back to Race Channel.
Well, I think first shout-out tonight goes out to the family of David Cater. I doubt they're watching this, but iRacing and sim racing in general lost a good one. I didn't know David that well. I interacted with him a little bit. He was always willing to help anybody who needed help. Mark, my teammate there, he's hit a little bit hard by this. David was kind of an early mentor for Mark. They worked together a lot in Mark's early years on the service, so I think there's a lot of people missing a good one tonight. So, just kind of condolences go out to his family there. So that's a terrible thing. And then, as far as shout outs to sponsors go, Virtual Racing Network, can't thank you guys enough. You guys just do a fantastic job. You work so hard. I know you're working today to get this stream looking fantastic. I know you're experimenting a little bit, and I hope it works out for you. And, of course, Walls Beard Co. Christmas time, www.wallsbeardco.com. Great inexpensive gifts. Big supporter of sim racing. If you get an opportunity and you need an inexpensive gift for somebody, it's a good chance to kind of give back to those that give to us. And then I got some family in Iowa watching tonight, so nephew Alex, brother, and mom, I think they got me on the big TV over the fireplace. So big shout out to them. Hopefully we don't look too silly by the time this one's over. So I think that's what I got there, Charles.
All right. Well, we'll let you go here as you can get about 6.5 more minutes in, and with any luck, we'll be talking to you in Victory Lane tonight.
All right, 10-4, buddy.
All right, again, that was the 24 of Jeff Stam. Now we have about 6.5 minutes left on the clock. Got lots of people out there watching, so big shout out to all of them. Obviously, if you got us on the big screen above the fireplace, probably not going to be able to chat with us in chat too well. But a big shout out to all of those people that are out there watching there from the living room or wherever room you happen to be watching from. Thanks for tuning in here tonight. Again, we got 15 drivers. You see Sean Brightsman in the 46 has not put in the time. He is a driver that is advanced. And now that we have Josh Coley here, we're going to pull him up very quickly and get a quick word with him. Josh Coley, you got a copy?
Hey, Charles, I got you.
Well, real fast here, we again the same thing. We don't want to take too much of your time here, as we know it's valuable practicing. But same question here as we just talked to Jeff. Here, he's in sixth, 2 points ahead of you. You're in seventh, so opposite role. You're trying to get into those top six. So, what do you have to do here tonight to better Jeff and lock yourself in? Obviously, just 3 points is all you need to get ahead of him.
Our goal tonight is going to be a top 3, I think. I think in the top 5 we might be okay, but top 3 I feel pretty comfortable.
Well, definitely a top 3 is probably going to be needed. It's going to be a really good battle. We're going to be watching both of y'all here tonight, as well as the rest of our chase drivers. Going into it, does it add a little pressure knowing that you're just literally right outside, or you just got to go at it just like a normal race?
A little extra pressure for sure, but we're just gonna see what we can do.
Well, we'll definitely be watching you here tonight. Again, same thing as I said, Jeff. Hopefully, with any luck, we'll see you in victory lane, or in your case, shooting for a top 3 here tonight. So we know you got some shout-outs and sponsors, so who would those be here for tonight's race?
I gotta thank Walls Beard Co., of course, and then VRN for the exceptional broadcast every week, and then just everyone for tuning in and watching.
Well, there you have it. That is the 33 of Josh Coley. And Josh, hopefully, again, we'll be talking to you later tonight.
Thanks, Charles.
All right, we'll get him back down to his channels. We have 3.5 minutes left on the clock before we get into any national anthem or qualifying or anything like that. One time here, we only do it at the beginning of the race. We want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. It is a great pleasure to have everyone here. If you're new and have not so far, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell to be notified of all upcoming events. And of course, hit the thumbs up button if you like the racing tonight. And if you want to be a little bit more part of the channel here, you want to help out VRN, we do have a donation link in the chat. It's completely optional. It's up to you. Of course, all that goes into just helping out pay the bills here to keep VRN afloat and keep us going week in and week out. But that is done with that. We won't mention it again. It is time to get into the racing mode. Less than 3 minutes left on the clock. It should be an interesting one for anyone that is new here tonight that has not tuned in before. If you look at the top here on your ticker, that green bar underneath the driver's name means they are in the chase. Yellow means they are advanced in the chase. They have a win, and they are moving on. You'll see Jason Berg and Sean Brightsman, who are both here now, right there at the end. They have not put in laps, but they are advanced into round 2. So you see anybody with a green bar underneath their name, they're in it, but they are trying to stay in it after tonight's race. So we'll be watching those to see who is in, who is out, and we'll let you know immediately after the race, or as soon as we can anyway, who is going to be in the chase for round 2. And then who is going to be out. And speaking of round 2, very quickly here, that will, be Iowa. So we come to Iowa December 17th, and then we were off the 23rd and the 30th here for, of course, New Year's and Christmas. So we'll be off those 2 weeks, but we will come to Iowa before that. So Iowa is coming up next here in round 2. But we are going to step away for the national anthem. We'll be right back with qualifying.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous perilous flight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying is underway, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of that very quickly here off your screen, and we're going to pull up qualifying, as there it is, and we are going to drop down to the track with your drivers here, as there is your first driver coming out on to the track, and that is going to be the 21 of Jason Berg. He has already advanced into the next round, so kind of a little bit of pressure off of Jason Berg here, as he does not necessarily have to get a win. Obviously, he'd like one as he scrapes the wall there just a little bit. That will put him down one lap here, so we'll see. He didn't complete his warm-up lap, so he should be good. Josh Coley out on the track right now. We did see that Jeff Stabnow lost connection, but he is back here, so that is good news for him. We definitely want to see them two here tonight, as that is going to be one of the biggest battles we have going on the track. So something we definitely want to pay attention to, as of course, as of right now, nobody has officially put in a time, but they will be here very shortly. Josh Coley looks to be one of the first ones to do so here as far as time goes, but no, he is going to slow it down and pull it to a stop. So we'll switch over to James Paulson, who should put in the time here this time by. What kind of time is it going to be, though, is the question, as qualifying is underway here for about 10 minutes. We have 8 minutes left, so 2 minutes has expired off the clock. And right now, nobody has officially put in a time. Very surprising, too. I figured we would see at least 1 or 2 times in by now, but so far, no such luck for these guys. Nobody has officially put in a time. I think James Paulson, though, is going to be one of the first ones to do so, as you will see him right there dipping it to the bottom, and there is the line. It's going to be a 40.793 will be his official first time. He has 2 laps to go around this track. And just like that, Daniel Masters is going to take his 03 machine to the top with a 40.744. He is your new pole sitter, and never mind, Jason Berg back out on the track, and he's going to do it now with a 40.700 to top the charts here in qualifying. So another very fantastic run here for Jason Berg. We'll see Mark Walls out on the track in his number 48 Walls Beard Co. machine. And we'll switch over to John Ottenbacher, who just put in a 41.026. So John Ottenbacher putting in a 4th fastest time here in qualifying. We'll go back over to Mark Walls. Jeff Stabnow is getting ready to get in qualifying time. He just strapped in and getting into his car. We'll see Josh Coley, one of our ones that we're going to be watching here tonight, a 40.467. What a time for him, as he puts in a blistering fast time there. We'll see if that time can be beat. We're going to go ahead and get back over there, as we timed out there a little bit. But Chris White in that 00 machine in the chase. Where will he put his machine at here in qualifying. These are all positions you want to be as high starting as you can, obviously, so that you can get a good pit stop here, or pit stalls for good pit stops later on in this race. So all of these are important. You don't want to mess up qualifying too bad, as Chris White takes it to second with a 40.569. Brett Johnson, look at him putting in a good run here. A 40.576. What a run for Brett Johnson here in qualifying, as he definitely put in a terrific run there. Let's go back here and see, Jeff Stabnow has not put in a time just yet, but he is back, currently being scored in 10th. I would expect to see him put that time in here very shortly, but so far it's not. This should be his lap right here, lap number 1 of 2, and it will be 41.148 will be his official time, and that is going to leave him right in 10th place. So something happened in there, not the fastest lap that we're used to seeing from Jeff Stabnow. So definitely I expect to see him do a little bit faster on his second lap, as he may be trying to build all the momentum he can here for lap number 2. So we'll stay with him, as he is one of them that we definitely want to check. Mark Wall's currently 8th, of course. John Ottenbucker 9th. Corey Walters 10th. Will Jeff Stabnow take it to the top of the charts this time by? We'll find out right there as he crosses the line. And it's going to go to 4th with a 40.611. Not quite the record-setting, blistering fast lap that we're used to from Jeff Stabnow. But this could get interesting, and very interesting, because right now Josh Coley has the pole here, and the car chasing, or that he's chasing, of course, is Jeff Stabnow, 2 spots behind him. So right out of the gate, it would be a tie. Josh Coley leads a lap, then it would no longer be a tie. So these are the scenarios we have to try to play out here tonight. As of starting grid, I believe Josh Coley would advance. Jeff Stabnow would not. They would swap, as they are 3 spots apart. So if our napkin math is correct here, Josh Coley, as of qualifying so far, would advance. Jeff Stabnow would be 1 spot out by probably about a point, maybe 2, depending on laps led, bonuses, stuff like that. So this is going to get very, very interesting here. Sean Brightsman is coming out in the number 46 machine, and he is currently getting up to speed. He has not put in a time yet here, with 3.5 minutes left to go. Hopefully everyone out there is enjoying the stream quality here. It looks like with this new little tweaks we've done, it is looking pretty good. So we're looks like we still have some work to do, but definitely better than we were before. So we are definitely grateful to all the work that's put in, especially again with Jeff helping us out so much as he has here. But again, Sean Brightsman out on the track right now, and he is currently on lap number 1, his warm-up lap, of course. Not going to be very fast at all, as he was getting up to speed. Question is, what kind of time will he put in? We'll go ahead and pull that driver bar back up. He's already advanced. He's in the chase. He doesn't have to put in a win. He doesn't have to win to get in. He already has it. So this is something that we will watch to see. Will he work with his teammates to try to help them? We know there is no pecking order at Wicked Chassis Racing, that if it comes down to it, any of them will go for the win right there, as he puts a time of a 40.485, and that's going to put him to second place, dropping Jeff Stabnow to 5th now. So that is 1 more spot between him and Josh Coley. So right now those two are separated, and as it stands, based on our math, Josh Coley would be in, Jeff Stabnow would be out. So that is not the scenario that Jeff Stabnow wants. Obviously, it's the scenario Josh Coley wants. So a lot of different stuff going on here tonight that we have to pay attention to. Oh, the question is, how will this all play out when it's all said and done? As qualifying, of course, is just about ready to wrap up. We'll go ahead and get rid of the driver bar off the screen. And we are going to go here is nobody out on the track that has not put in a time. So Scott Hutchinson, I'm not sure if he's going to start here tonight. Casey Tillman, I'm not sure. He is a new driver that we have not seen before. We'll see if he's going to start. Did not qualify so far. Dan Stuzzi has not qualified. Last I checked, Dan Stuzzi was not here. So we'll see. That could have been in the last lobby. I can't remember for sure. And, of course, Brian Barnes. Be interesting to see if indeed these guys do race. They have not put in a qualifying time here tonight. Again, those are Scott Hutchinson, Casey Tillman, Dan Stuzzi, and Brian Barnes. Those 4 drivers have not put in times. So we'll have to wait and see if they're going to qualify. We got about 25 seconds, so we're going to step away. We'll be right back with your Walls at Beard Co. starting grid coming up here in just a few moments. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and they are getting set to get on to the track. As soon as our top few drivers get on the grid, we will go ahead and go through it. As we're going to drop down to the grid here, we'll go to a few drivers, and there it is sitting on the grid. We're just going to go ahead and go through the drivers. We got 16 here tonight. So, of course, starting on row 1 here for the Walls Beard Co. Starting grid is going to be the 33 of Josh Coley and the 46 of Sean Brightsman. Row 2 is going to be the 00 of Chris White and the 7 of Brett Johnson. Row 3 is going to be the 24 of Jeff Stabnow and the 58 of Steven Paulson. Row 4 is going to be the 21 of Jason Berg and the 48 of Mark Walls. Row 5 is going to be the 30 of James Paulson and the 03 of Daniel Masters. Row 6 is going to be the 89 of John Ottenbacher and the 9 of Corey Walters. Row 7 is going to be the 4 of Brian Barnes and the 92 of Casey Tillman. And rounding out the field here in row 8, that is going to be the 91 of Scott Hutchinson and the 78 of Dan Stuzzi. That will do it here for your Walls Beard Co. starting grid. And so far it looks like Casey Tillman, Dan Stuzzi, and Scott Hutchinson not going to be starting tonight's race. As of course we are sitting on the grid here getting ready to get this thing going. And there it is, pace car is pulling off as it will start this race here, as you see everybody pulling off pit road. As Sean Brightsman there, of course, off pit road, and that will do it. Let's get over to the main camera. Sean Brightsman and Josh Coley going to be starting row 1. I hope you're excited for some great racing, because it's coming your way here in just under a minute. All right, you see him there. So again, Casey Tillman, Dan Susie, Scott Hutchinson not starting the race here tonight. So 13 drivers will be starting the race. A little bit down, but again, once the chase starts, we do see a decline in just about every league. These are the guys that know they're out of the championship hunt, and they just tend to go find other things or take a break from racing and call it an off season. So it's unfortunate, but it does happen no matter where you go. As we are getting ready to go, pace cars should be diving off here momentarily. As you see them there, pace car is off. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here for the first time. We're on lap 1 of 75 of a 2-mile track, 150 miles. Track temp here has dropped to 77 degrees. It started out at 78 degrees, so it has actually dropped a degree. I have a feeling we'll get up to about 80 degrees once these cars lay down some rubber and put some heat into this track. The question is, how much heat will this track raise from start time here, as it is the 46 pushing the 00 right now. But let's go back up there and see Jeff Stabnow on the move, trying to get by here. Well, they're trying. He gets by the 00 of Chris White. Now he's trying to run down Josh Coley here and see if he can get by him. As of right now, based on how they're running, it would be Jeff Stabnow that is moving on. So just like that, 2 positions gained, or 3 positions gained, and Jeff Stabnow is back in the hunt of things here, as it looks like Casey Tillman's going to start late. He's coming onto the track. Hopefully, we'll see if he's going to let these guys by or if he's going to try to fight to stay on the lead lap. We already could have a car lap down. That's the 92 of Casey Tillman, a brand new driver here to the series that we have not seen before. And the leaders are coming up very closely behind him. Josh Coley going to put him a lap down very soon here. Already on lap number 3 is Josh Coley having a connection issue there. Jeff Stabnow could take full advantage of that if a connection issue does plague the 33 here. So hopefully that does not happen. Sean Brightson behind his teammate, the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. He already again does have a win, so he's locked in. He has really nothing too major on the line here. He's just kind of coasting back there, seeing if he can get the win. He's already going to be locked in to the next round, so it'll be interesting to see how that one does work. The other driver that's locked in is that 21 right there of Jason Burke. He's sitting back in now 5th place as Sean Brightsman. Something happening with him. He goes, it looks like he's showing on pit road for 0.1 second. So let's quickly go back and take a look here to see what happened to him. As we're back here again, this is Sean Brightsman, the 46. Something went wrong here. We didn't get a caution for it, but we want to go back and look at this and see what exactly happened. As not sure, it had to be coming up here shortly because he almost went on pit road for it. As that's what it's showing anyway, but I don't see anything here that's potentially. Oh, there, contact, and right there is where he gets it. Going below the green cone. That is what caused that here. Is he's actually going to come down pit road here early and take a fuel and tires. We'll see. We'll keep you posted on how long he's on pit road. But we're going to go back up to the front here. Jeff Stabnow just got by Josh Coley while we were watching that. So that pass just happened. He has now led 1 lap for the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. So again, all of this happening within a 1-lap period where something contact between the 00 of Chris White and Sean Brightsman in the 46 sends the 46 almost down pit road, or the end of pit road anyway. He comes down while we're watching that. Of course, Jeff Stabnow takes the lead from Josh Coley to lead his first lap. Now he's led his second lap, and he is on a mission to lock himself into this chase via the win. He does not want to have to point in. He wants to get it in the old-fashioned way, and that is by putting it in victory lane here tonight. As you heard from him, 2 bad races in a row. He's had his fair share of mulligans. He wants to win this thing and go ahead and stamp his way into round number 2. We'll see. Let's go back a little ways here to this group, as we'll go here and take a look. We'll go to this camera here and take a look. to our green camera, it is Mark Walls holding off Jason Berg and Brett Johnson here at the moment, and also James Paulson in there in the mix, sitting back in 7th place right now. So this is a nice little group of cars battling, bumper to bumper. We'll see. As we've seen people get spread out before. They're not doing that here tonight. They're staying nice and bunched up together. As looks like Sean Breitzman was on pit road for 25 seconds. My guess is probably a hold on there. Probably took tires there, I would imagine. We'll see. He may not have, but obviously there was at least a 15-second penalty on there because he was there for 25 seconds. We'll see. It could have just been fuel, and then, of course, that penalty. But definitely on pit road for basically 56 seconds in his stall for 25.9 seconds. As now you see Jeff Stabnow trying to get by the 92 here to put him a lap down. That is Casey Tillman, the new driver here. And he's already about to go one lap down. Oh! Josh Coley side-swiping the wall, but he keeps it going in the right direction. But that is not going to do justice for that car, as he does not want to damage it this early in the race. Although he would have a fast repair to go in and fix it if he needed, but I don't see too much damage. And it looks like the 92 of Casey Tillman is going to scoot over and let these guys by. A very respectable move by any driver. He's not going to battle the leaders, but now it's Josh Coley's turn to get by him, and he's going to let him by pretty easy too. Not going to hold him up. So again, very, very respectable here, and we're going to go ahead and put the top 3 on the chart here. We forgot to pull that up. As it is Stabnow, Coley, and White are your top 3 right now here in the race. Again, thanks everybody for tuning in here tonight. As it looks like the 00 Chris White is doing a good job of holding off Mark Walls, but Mark Walls on the move here, as we'll pull that up real fast. Started 8th, he's up to 4th. That's the highest he's been. That's where he currently sits here in the race. So he is trying to work his way up. He is again halved his position from 8th to 4th, so good run for him. Just in front of him, the one holding him off started 3rd. He's in 3rd right now, hasn't really gone forward or backwards here. That's the 00 of Chris White. Josh Coley, of course, started 1st, and he's in 2nd at the moment. That is his lowest position, and coming from 5th place to 3rd very quickly, actually to 2nd very quickly. And then taking 1st here 7 laps ago, that was the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. While we didn't see that pass on the actual screen or the broadcast here, we know it did happen. It was back all at the same time when Sean Breitzman and in the 46 and the 00 of Chris White made contact, pushing him through the end of pit road, and that, of course, is why we missed that, but he has the lead, and now it looks like Mark Walls is going to get by Chris White here to officially take 3rd place from him, so we'll see. Can he hold him off? And he does. He closes the door, and it's going to be Mark Walls to 3rd place in that number 48 Walls Beard Co. Chevrolet Camaro here tonight. Again, we have very few Toyotas here. We got, I believe, 2 Toyotas here, period, tonight. 3 Toyotas. Everyone else is in, we got 1, 2, 3 Fords and maybe 4 Fords and Chevrolet. So, interesting enough here, whether you're a Chevy, Ford, or Toyota driver, your top 5 drivers right now are in Chevrolet. So, again, there is no advantage from one car to the other. These are fixed setups, but Chevrolet is clearly out front right now here in this race. And out of those here, we've got the top 4 out of those 5 are Chase drivers as well. So definitely something to pay attention to as well. To see where your Chase drivers will end up here tonight. And again, we will try to get you those updated standings as quickly as possible. And we do want to note here, too, that our fastest lap was run by Chris White, who is currently sitting in 4th position, but that was on lap 3. We're on lap 13 now. 10 laps ago, As we'll make that 11 laps ago, he ran the fastest lap of a 40.568. So again, that was quite some time ago on fresher tires. Right now we're on old tires. Older tires anyway. We have 14 on them, except for Sean Brightsman, who has only 8 after going down pit road to serve that penalty. So it's unfortunate for him that he had to do that, but I'm sure he had a penalty. We cannot confirm that unless we talk to him, but I'd be willing to bet he indeed did acquire a penalty after that. So we'll see. Right now, we'll take a look here to Brian Barnes, who is currently sitting in 9th position in that number 4 machine right behind Jason Berg. Those are 2 very, very fast drivers in this race. Both of them could win on any given night, so we'll definitely be paying attention to both of them. And we said at the start here of the broadcast, before we got into all the racing details, we wanted to take a very close look at Jeff Stabnow and Josh Coley. As it is right now, Jeff Stabnow has led some laps, so has Josh Coley. They both have a bonus point. That nulls and voids those bonus points. We will throw those out the window. While they will get them, it's not going to be a factor unless one of them can lead the most laps. So we'll see. But right now, Jeff Stabnow 2 spots ahead of Josh Coley. He is currently ahead of him in the point standing. So Jeff Stabnow doing exactly what he needs to do here tonight to try to put this thing into round 2, to put himself into round 2, and of course to put himself in a victory lane here, as we are on lap 16 of 75, caution free so far here at Auto Club Speedway. For anyone just tuning in, you're watching the Virtual Racing Network 150. Here it is a late night broadcast, but we don't care. We love being here. This is one of our favorite leagues for sure to do. So you're watching some great racing here as they're kind of starting to get a little spread out, but not too terribly bad. Again, we're keeping an eye on all of this. Keep in mind, we've only had 1 different lead change here tonight, as we'll go ahead and pull the race stats up here. 1 lead change we've had 0 cautions, of course, and that was by Chris White. His fastest mile per hour on that lap was 177.55 miles per hour. So a pretty fast time there, but they are hitting upwards of 170, 180, 190. But just because you hit those doesn't mean you necessarily have the fastest lap. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. We haven't had a chance to bring it up here tonight, so we will do so now, as we will bring up your track facts here for tonight. We're at Auto Club Speedway, 4 turns, 2 miles, 75 laps, 150 miles. We talked about that track temp earlier as you're watching this battle here between Josh Coley and Chris White. That is for 3rd position, but we talked about that track temp, that we expected it to go up throughout this race. And it is currently at 78 degrees, so it is going up just a little bit. No surprise, we expected that to happen. It's just part. The question is, how much higher will it go up here tonight? We'll just have to wait and see. We'll be waiting to see if that track team goes up, and we'll be able to let you know pretty much instantly as soon as it does happen. But we're going to go a little further back here as Josh Coley still being able to hold off. Oh, Josh Coley, never mind, into the outside wall. He scrapes it, but he's able to hold on to it. And it looks like that's going to allow Brett Johnson to get by him, as well as maybe Chris White. No, Chris White having to kind of get stalled behind the 7, is unable to get by. And actually, neither is the 7. So Brett Johnson is ahead of him at the moment. But there you have it right there. Josh Coley is going to rebound and get back by the 7 of Brett Johnson. So that is exactly the opposite of what he wanted to do early. He did not want to scrape the wall. He's done it twice now, I do believe. So scraping that wall is not what he wants to do. He wants to be up front trying to get that lead back from Jeff Stabnow. But right now, he has got his hands full with Chris White and Brett Johnson. So this will be a good little battle to watch back here. As we go a little further back, it is James Paulson and John Ottenbacher back here battling. As you see the 92, again, that is Casey Tillman, the rookie here tonight. First time racing. He is currently 1 lap down, as well as Sean Breitzman, who, again, after contact with the 00 of Chris White, had to go down pit road and to take a 25.9 second stop. Of course, that is what put him that lap down. Mark Walls trying to run down his teammate right now in that number 48 machine. Can he do it is the question. We're going to go back and watch this battle, though. As correction, we have Jason Berg coming down pit road here on lap 22. So we'll see. Is this a scheduled stop? And I'm not sure. He does have damage. And let the see if anybody else comes down pit road here shortly. So it's going to be interesting if that is a scheduled stop or if he's doing that for damage, as he does use his fast repair there, as you see it pop out. So that may have just been a early stop here. As you see the leader right there, he's going to come out, but he's not going to make it. He will go a lap down here. That again is going to be... Oh, and we got another driver coming down. That was Jason Berg in the 21. John Ottenbacher in the 89 now coming down pit road as well. So several drivers coming down pit road here now. So this could be the beginning of pit stops. We did not get a fuel window from any of these drivers here tonight. So this could be the beginning of the pit stops here. We'll see as John Ottenbacher has to back up, completely misses his stall. That is not what he wanted to see, as there he is. He's going to have to back up. He is in his stall now, and he will go a lap down for sure. And here comes Jeff Stabnow coming down pit road. Mark Walls, Josh Coley coming down. And it looks like we got Daniel Masters coming down. So the entire field starting to come down pit road here for the first pit stop. So it looks like we're going to get about 25 laps on fuel. So this is going to be a 2-stop race as Jeff Stabnow gets a nice stop there. We'll switch over to Josh Coley, who is going to get into his pit stall. Nice and clean for him. A good stop. He'll use his fast repair. Jeff Stabnow sitting quite a few spots back here. We'll see. Again, we have a few drivers there that did not start, so they're in the back. Is this going to be Jeff Stabnow that actually beats the 33 off pit road, but he's got the 48 of Mark Walls, his teammate, right behind him. And there goes Jason Berg. Right now, your leader is Brian Barnes. We'll see Chris White coming down, Brad Johnson coming down, James Paulson coming down. We really want to pay attention, of course, to Chris White, and a good stop for him. He gets in nice and clean. And we'll go back to the front. So right now, Brian Barnes, Stephen Paulson, and Corey Walters have not come down. They have 25 laps on their tires and the fuels. It looks like Brian Barnes is going to bring it down pit road here. And he does. He's going to bring it down, as well as, let's see who that is coming with him. Stephen Paulson coming down as well. Corey Walters opting to stay out here on lap 26. All right, there is your race leader, the 9 of Corey Walters. Here, as we are a third of the way done with this race already. Caution free so far here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. What a race, and the broadcast looks great. We are super stoked for all the help we've had to make it look the way it does here tonight. As you see the 9 of Corey Walters coming down to pit road, and when it cycles all around, this is going to give the lead to Jason Berg. But look who's hot on his heels in that number 24 machine as they're coming around. The question is, who's going to be leading this race? You're talking about 4 laps versus 2 laps. So 2 more laps on the tires for Jason Berg versus Jeff Stabnow and everyone behind him. So I think he'll run him down. The question is, will he be able to pass him? Right now, too, Josh Coley sitting in. As they're cycling around, he's in fourth place right now. Again, Josh Coley in fourth, and Jeff Stabnow in second. So that is right where he wants to be right now. If he wants to, keep the gap, he cannot have more than a 2 or 3 car gap. Otherwise, he could potentially get by him. But it needs to be in the reverse order. Josh Coley needs to be where Jeff Stabnow is, and he needs Jeff Stabnow to be back where he is. So they need to reverse it. Josh Coley needs to finish 2 to 4, maybe even 5 spots better than Jeff Stabnow, who does officially take the lead right there. As you just watched those newer tires, just two laps newer tires, playing that much of a factor in tonight's race. This is just awesome here for the first race back that we are doing with the brand new 1440p, the stream looking good, and we are going caution free here at Auto Club Speedway. We couldn't ask for a better night of racing. It's just so incredible. Jeff Stabnow doing what he needs to do. Mark Walls trying to get by Jason Berg, and it looks like he is going to secure it. Jason Berg scraped the wall just ever so slightly. Not too terribly bad there, but he will officially get by him here on lap 29 of 75. Let's go silent here for just a minute. Let's go on board here with Mark Walls and let you see what it's like to be behind the wheel of one of these things. And as he's chasing down his teammates, the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here as we are on lap 31 of 75. We are closing in on the halfway point. Again, once we get to around lap 50, I'd say 48 to 50, we're going to see these guys coming back down the pit road again. Let us know if other people cannot hear car sound. I know they should be on. We see them coming through on our end. So let us know. I know Mikey, if you're in chat, Justin, if you're in chat with us, James, if you're here with us, let us know if you hear car sounds, as they are going through on our end. So definitely let us know if you can hear them or not. But what we're saying here is we're at the halfway point when they get to the line. So we are actually going to step away here for a quick commercial break. And we will be right back here as we are at the halfway point presented by Northwest Racing Series. All right, we are back. All right, that is really weird. Thanks. We will definitely look into that and see what the issue may have been. It may have just been that they were so quiet, that's why you couldn't hear them. But definitely info. Thanks for that. We will definitely be looking into that to see if maybe we can address that and possibly get that fixed for later on. As of course, we are here on lap 35 of 75. We're so used to saying 175 or 100 plus laps, but it's only 75 laps here tonight because of the fact that it is a 2-mile track here. As no surprise here comes Josh Coley coming down here on lap 35. Actually, that is quite a bit of surprise that he's coming down very early here. He's only been out for about 12 laps or so. But he is taking tires and fuel. We're going to see if he takes 4 tires and fuel. Obviously, this is not for a penalty to be served because he would have had to serve that a long time ago. So he's going to take 4 tires and fuel here with a pit stop of 17, 18, 19 seconds. So something not going right here as he is going a lap down. He's sitting on a pit road. So something not going right here for Josh Coley. And that may have just sealed his fate as John Ottenbacher now comes down pit road. We want to watch this, but we also want to keep an eye on this battle here as it's a very little gap there. But we're going to go back to pit road here. John Ottenbacher, make sure he has a good pit stop here. But again, there's a very good battle going on for the lead, and we're going to go back to that as it's 0.116 seconds separating them here. Teammates, the 24 and the 48 battling for the lead, and we'll keep you apprised to John Ottenbacher's pit stop as it's 5.6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds. We'll keep an eye on that, but look at this battle, 0.199 separating them. Meanwhile, go a little ways behind them. Look at this battle for a second. Jason Berg, Chris White, side by side, still duking it out as it looks like Chris White may have him here. We'll have to wait and see if he officially can get by him or not. We'll wait and see. Chris White does get by him. Back up to the front here. Mark Walls has a little bit of a gap now. 2.16 as Jeff Stab now has put it into a new gear that he did not have before, and he will pull away from him. And just to update here, John Ottenbacher was on pit road for 29.7 seconds. Also, Tillman on pit road as well. So we've had a few people here so far. Casey Tillman is not out of the race, but off the racing or off the track. Scott Hutchinson out of the race. Dan Susie out of the race. Those two did not start. Mark Wall still trying to run down his teammate here, trying to make it happen. Just can't quite get to him here at the moment. But what a valiant effort to get by. He is now 0.249 seconds away as that gap keeps shrinking and growing throughout this race. So that is definitely something to pay attention to here. With that being said, pit stops should be coming in here in the next about, I'd say 12 laps or so. We're just about on lap 40. So we've got a lot of information to cover here. Josh Coley is back out on the track here, but he was on pit road for 27.5 seconds. He did go a lap down, and it's going to be very difficult to get that lap back if he cannot get a caution to give him the lucky dog. And even if a caution came out, the lucky dog would go to the 46 of Sean Breitzman. So Josh Coley would have to just take the wave around and not be able to come down pit road. However, he does have 3 laps on his tires, so he did take tires when he was on pit road there. So that would be good for him. It looks like Casey Tillman's going to call it a night. And again, so far, caution-free here at Auto Club Speedway. 75 laps on the books. We're on lap 40. We are past the halfway point now, as it is Stephen Paulson right now running down James Paulson. So we have the battle of the Paulsons here as against Stephen Paulson running down the 30 of James Paulson. But just not quite able to get to him just yet, but we'll keep an eye on that one here as we're going to go back to the front here. 0.199 seconds, now 0.166 seconds separating first and second. That is a battle we do not want to leave here. Keeping in mind, both of these drivers are in the chase. Both of them really could use the win to lock themselves in. However, as of right now, with Josh Coley 1 lap down back in 12th place, Jeff Stabenow has this 6th place position locked up pretty good. So he needs the win a little bit more, of course, than Josh Coley. And again, this if he gets the win, this is going to really shake things up as well. So I still think Josh Coley would be out. So we'll have to wait and see. If it was to end right now anyway, I do believe we'll do the napkin math here. I do believe Corey Walters and Josh Coley would be out of the chase. So those are two very fast drivers. Unfortunately, that would not be in the next round. So again, that is napkin math. We cannot confirm that is 100% accurate, but that is our best guess here based on how they run, or how they're running right now, and of course how they came into this race point standings wise. So we'll do our best to get all that information to you. There is Chris White sitting in 3rd place, Brian Barnes sitting in 4th, Jason Berg in 5th. They're really spread out. There's not a whole lot of battling going on here as you go all the way back to Josh Coley. Again, as Josh Coley does get by Sean Breisman just now, so that takes him to 11th, and he is set to be the lucky dog now. So you pull that information up, sitting in 11th place, 1 lap down, started first all the way, and he led 3 laps, and then something happened there to put him on pit road. He's got damage to his car as well, so unfortunately it looks like he started strong and has just kind of fizzled out here towards the end of this race, and unfortunately may not have much say in if he advances or not. But we're going back up to the front. There's a huge battle for the lead. They're side by side. Oh, they may make contact there. It is so close. If you look at the top bar there, you can't even tell the difference, but Mark Walls is going to get him at the bottom, and he will slide up and cut his nose off just a little bit. It looked a lot closer than it was for sure, as Mark Walls is your new leader, and you have John Ottenbacher up there with him. He's a teammate, but he is currently 2 laps down. He is not in the battle for a position. He is in a battle for track position, but not a actual counted position, as he's going to try to get by his teammate, the 24, and put a little bit of a buffer between him and the 48 of Mark Walls, and he does just that. Keep it in mind, John Ottenbacher 7 laps on his tires versus 21 for everybody else, so he's got way fresher tires. It's not even much of a battle for him to get by. Jeff Stabenow trying to get back by here. We'll see. Pit stops are going to be coming into play again here in the next, really in the next 2 to 4 laps. 2 to 5 laps, we're going to see drivers start coming down pit road for their second and final pit stop. Again, this has been caution-free here at Auto Club Speedway. If you're just tuning in, you are watching, if we'll do that, there we go. You're watching the Virtual Racing Network 150 here, of course, on VRN. And those are your top 3 drivers. It is Mark Walls, Jeff Stabenow, and Chris White. Our 1, 2, 3, as it looks like John Ottenbacher is going to get one of his laps back the hard way here, as he is just going to muscle by his teammates. Yeah, it depends on the track. Side draft could be effective. You'll see a little bit more in the trucks than you do here. Especially with this track, side draft, not too big of a deal here. Even though it is a 2-mile track, it doesn't drive like a super speedway. It's a really weird track. So side draft won't play too big of an issue here. It's more about just running that perfect line here to get all the speed you can. And you'll see here, so you just saw, we'll go right back to there real quick. The 48 and the 24, watch them battle. You saw earlier in qualifying and practice, we watched the 24 Jeff Stabenow. Even the 48 and all these drivers would go down as low as they could, but that's not what they're doing here. So we'll get to that here in a second, is that we do have Brett Johnson coming down pit road, and we should be able to see those leaders coming around the corner, as it looks like not Josh Coley. Somebody's coming down pit road. That is going to be Daniel Masters that's coming down pit road. And there is the lap car, and we're not going to see them, as it's going to be Mark Walls and Jeff Stabnow coming down pit road. And we'll see Mark Walls at 60 miles an hour for pit road. So everybody coming down. It looks like Chris White's going to come down with them as well. So we'll see. Oops, there he is. Chris White is coming down. Jeff Stabnow is coming in from second place. He has a little bit better pit stall than Mark Walls. So we'll see if that plays into his favor as far as getting on and off of pit road. Will they take 4 tires and fuel? It looks like they are going to take 2 tires at least, and 4 tires for Mark Walls, 4 tires for Jeff Stabnow, and it's going to be 4 tires for everybody, and that's going to let Mark Walls off pit road first. Jeff Stabnow going to be trailing behind him just a little bit. Brian Barnes is your new race leader, as he's got the 92 of Casey Tillman in front of him, trying to stay more. He's already 9 laps down, wants to stay as few laps down as he can. We have 25 laps to go when we get to the line. Looks like we got some Team Stabnow in chat, so welcome JT back to chat here. Brian Barnes is your race leader, followed by Steven Paulson, Jason Berg. Jason Berg has pitted. He's on pit road right now anyway, so he is working his way to try and get some more laps led. We've had currently 7 different leaders, 8 different lead changes. Brian Barnes coming down to pit road. Steven Paulson not coming down pit road. He's going to stay out and lead this thing. As we'll see right there, he will lead his second lap of the night. And again, Steven Paulson, who will lead first lap led. My bad, I thought he was about to lead 2. That is his first lap led here tonight. I do apologize for that. That is only his first lap led. He's out there on 25 lap tires right now, as it looks like Mark Walls, Jeff Stabnow are going to try to run him down. Sean Brightsman on pit road, as he's going to take tires and fuel. It won't be a matter of time before Steven Paulson will get eaten alive by these new tires. Can you go back to Mark Walls and Jeff Stabnow and anybody behind them, with the exception of Josh Coley, who has 16, and John Allenbacher with 14. They have 2 laps on their tires, 26 laps for Steven Paulson. If a caution was to come out, he would be sitting fairly good here, as I'm not sure how many people would come down, but we may see some guys come down. Tires seem to be a big issue here tonight. So they're wearing off. Keep in mind here, we're looking at fresh tires right now. 40.6 is with fresh tires for Mark Walls, who's in second place. First place right now is Steven Paulson right there in that 58. 42.6, so 2 seconds slower compared to 3 laps versus 27 laps. So that is a big difference, but tire wear is falling off here. So these guys have got to think about that throughout the remainder of this race. So far, we're caution free, and if it continues that way, it would be very interesting, as we'll pull those race stats up here for you. There you see it right now. Caution free here in this race. The fastest lap was set by Jeff Stabnow back on lap 51. Actually, that just happened. So 2 laps ago, Jeff Stabnow set the fastest lap here. So this could get very interesting. Jeff Stabnow just now setting the fastest lap. 2 laps ago, or 3 laps ago now, is usually we see that later or early in the race, and we don't see a fast lap set once they get rubber laid down on the track. So totally different than what we're used to seeing here. Is we're going to pull those track facts up one more time here for you. We talked about that air or track temp here. It was 78. It got up. It has actually dropped back down to 77 degrees. And the air temp has dropped 1 degree as well. So we are starting to see this track cool off, and that very well could be why we're seeing that faster lap set, because of a cooler track, has a little bit more grip on it. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one officially plays out here, as we have less than 25 laps to go here in the race. And so far, Steven Paulson has not come down pit road. He has 29 laps on these tires. Again, he may be able to make it on fuel. We don't know. John Ottenbacher coming back down pit road. He is currently 1 lap down. He's going to bring it to pit road and get some fuel and tires here. It looks like I don't see any damage to the car, so we'll see here for just a minute as he's going to put it on pit road, and they're jacking up some fuel and tires for the 89 as there comes your race leader, Steven Paulson, in the 58 down pit road. And there comes your new leader coming to the line. Will he be ahead of him at the line? No, so technically, I believe Steven Paulson does lead that to lead 6 laps, but it is now Mark Walls, Jeff Stabnow, and Chris White. 1, 2, 3 is how they were earlier, and now they are back to it. So the question is, here in the closing laps of this race, can the 24 of Jeff Stabnow get by his teammate, the 48 of Mark Walls so far? Caution free. That is not helping his case any if he wanted to try to bunch this field up and try to get by him. Definitely, I think the 24 has a really, really good short-run car. So he may be wanting to see a caution come out. We'll know here shortly if we're going to get one. I just don't think we're going to get one here. We do want to remind everyone, if you're just tuning in here tonight, make sure you hit that subscribe button and little bell to be notified of all upcoming events, and of course the thumbs up if you like the racing here tonight. You're watching the Virtual Racing Network 150 here on VRN for the Northwest Xfinity Series. Alright, sorry about that. Had a bit of a coughing fit going on. We do apologize for that. That's right now. We're just about at lap 60, coming up here in 3 laps. Again, we'll be on lap 60 and 2, but they have to complete lap 60 to have it completed. Then on lap, of course, 61, we will have 15 laps to go. Can Jeff Stabnow run down his teammates? We went on board here with the 48 earlier. Let's go on board here. Let's go to the helmet cam if we can find it. There it is. Let's go to the helmet cam of Jeff Stabnow and see if he can potentially run him down. Again, you're on the helmet cam for Jeff Stabnow. And just a great view here as you see him try to run down. He's going to put it as low as he can. We talked about a little bit earlier how low they would go here. They're on the backstretch right now as they're trying to get by the 9 of Corey Walters, who is 1 lap down now. And that's just because they put him a lap down due to pit strategy. But you'll see coming in to here, he gets right there. Look how close he gets to his back bumper. But on fresh tires, you will see them dip all the way below this white line. I'm not sure if they're going to do it here with the 10-lap tires. And it looks like Jeff Stabnow is going to, but not for very long. Just as he crosses the line, comes back up. And you can see how much he's having to fight this wheel right now off this helmet cam, as it is a very, very bumpy track. So a lot going on here, as we're going to go ahead and get rid of that and go back to our main camera here, as they're trying to put a good battle here together for you. It may be very close at the line. I'm curious if the 24 is holding back just a little bit, as we'll see. Just to update here, Dan Stuzzi and Scott Hutchinson never did start the race. Casey Tillman, the rookie driver here tonight, his first race ever, started from the pits, came in a little late, 19 laps down now. He is out of the race as well. Josh Coley has got back on the lead lap. He still has damage to the right side of his car, but he is in 8th place. Unfortunately, if it was to end right now here with 15 to go, it would not be enough for him to overcome. He would be eliminated from the chase, as well as Corey Walters. So as of right now, and again, this is our napkin math, as of how they're running right now, it would be Jason Berg, Sean Brightsman, Mark Walls, Chris White, Brian Barnes, and Jeff Stabnow, not necessarily in that order. That is how they would be, or that's who would be in the chase. Again, not necessarily in that particular order here for tonight's race. If it was to end right now. But this race is not over yet. We still have about 13 or laps to go or so. So let's go back up to the front. So far, Jeff Stabnow has not been able to mount a run here to get by his teammates in that number 48 machine. Chris White sitting in third place, but just really hasn't had the momentum he needs to try and get by either one of these. Jeff Stabnow on the 24 or Mark Walls in the 48. So unfortunately, just not quite the momentum night he needed. However, third place is a solid finish, and that would put him into the chase for round 2. So while it's not the win he was probably looking for, still a solid finish. Again, we talked to Josh Coley. Top 3 is what he wanted. Unfortunately, that doesn't look like it's going to happen. As Josh Coley, speaking of him, coming back down pit road, and that will put him a lap down now as he's going to come down and probably try to fix some damage. As we are pretty certain they are not going to have to come back down at pit road here for the remainder of this race. So he is coming down for an unscheduled pit stop here. Mark Walls, though, still out front, 0.333 seconds separating your front 2 right now. And that is almost sad to see right there, 0.33 seconds, after the devastating finish here for Josh Coley. He is back out 9.5 seconds. They may not be able to make it on field, but I'm pretty sure they can here for the remainder of this race, as Jeff Stabnow still trying to run down his teammate. Let's go a little further back here. As you see, this is why we're staying up front. There's just not a whole lot of battles going on throughout this field here at the moment. So really, the only battle is for first place, and that is Jeff Stabnow and Mark Walls. Everyone else nice and spread out here on the track. So that's why we're sticking with them two right now, as Jeff Stabnow is still trying to do everything he can to get that lead. And we got Chrissy Ottenbacher in chat. Welcome to chat. I was wondering if you were going to be joining us here tonight. It looks like you are indeed. Unfortunately for John Ottenbacher, he is currently 2 laps down here tonight, just not having the night he wanted. So it's unfortunate for him that, again, it just hasn't worked out. He's out of the chase already, though, so he's just here trying to rack up some good finishes and win and get the practice in for the remainder of the series. Of course, the truck series is going to be the Premier Series here with the open setups, as that is it. As it looks like Mark Walls is starting to pick up more cars to put a lap down here, as he is going to get by Daniel Masters in the 03, putting a little bit of a gap between him and Jeff Stabnow. Now, Jeff Stabnow has got to mount his run soon, as we are going to be getting in on the last, right now, 10 laps to go. So this next time by will be 9 laps to go before this race is over. That is not a whole lot of time for Jeff Stabnow if he wants to mount a run and try to get this lead. We'll see if he's going to do it here very shortly. I'm thinking he may just not have the long run here. Seems like the longer we run, the more that car fades off. He really does have a good short run, just not quite on the long run here. Again, there's not a lot they can do as far as adjusting here, because it is a fixed setup. So it just means that Mark Walls has found something that Jeff Stabnow has not quite found yet. We'll see here. He's going to try, but again, I just think Mark Walls is just that fast here tonight on this fixed up. He's found something that he really enjoys, some line that is just spectacular for him. It's either that or Jeff Stabnow is holding back, waiting. But we're about to find out, because there it is. When they come to the line, we'll be on lap 70. This race is just about over. Right now we have, again, 7 laps to go. Going to be 6 at the line. Again, it looks like it would be 5, but it is 6 laps because they have to complete the last lap. They can't just run 2 laps 75. They have to complete lap 75. So that is why there, again, is more laps than it looks like there should be. As Mark Walls coming to the line here, as he will do it right there. It is now 6 laps to go. Going to be 5 to go at the line. That will be the point of no return. But I don't see a caution coming out anytime soon, as we've been caution-free so far here at Auto Club Speedway. And what a race it's been here for the lead, as John Ottenbacher scrapes the wall just a little bit there. You see the sparks go flying. Jeff Stabnow, I'm not too sure. He may have found something here. He has come to life here, as we'll keep an eye. The big key is that gap up there you see at the top of your screen. Currently, .750. Has he found something here? .673. He's closed that now. It's back down to .783. So, thought he found something there. I'm not sure he did. Maybe he found it for a second and has since lost it. We'll see if he can manage to get that little run going here. But right now, it is 5 laps to go. Let's go through the fields here and see if we have any battles going on. As, well, we got some here. Jason Berg. Then you got Brett Johnson battling. That's a little battle going on there. As, of course, Sean Breitzman is 1 lap down at the moment. But, of course, he's already locked in, so no big deal for him. We're going to keep an eye on that lead. .699. Not a whole lot going on there. .616. We're keeping an eye here. As there you see it, .499, .433. Let's jump back up there. Jeff Stabnow on the move. He's found something, or he's been holding back. .433. I'm not sure. I think we may have had a sleeper in Jeff Stabnow. .483, .467. The gap is closing, and then it'll spread out, and then it'll close back up again. We'll see. Will he be able to get by? 4 laps to go. Going to be 3 to go here at the line. .516 at the line. So I'm wondering if maybe Mark Walls has been conserving here a little bit as well, to try to make sure they can make it on fuel, but I'm pretty sure they can make it on fuel anyway. We'll see here. Back to this battle has kind of panned itself out. Let's go back to the front, as it is .516 seconds separating your front 2 drivers. Will the 24 get any little draft there? As you see the 48 go down there, that is probably to cut that draft off a little bit, as you can pick up some draft here because of the long backstretch. He will do so, and that will drop that gap to .549. Mark Walls coming to the line. 2 laps to go here at Auto Club Speedway. This race has been outstanding. Caution-free here tonight. We have had 8 different leaders. Stabnow, Walls, Paulson, Coley, Barnes, Walters, White, and Berg have all led laps here tonight. Unfortunately, Josh Coley not having the night he needed to advance. Jeff Stabnow is that much closer with 1 lap to go when they get to the line. And again, based on our math and how they're running, it looks like Jeff Stabnow will squeak it in to the next round in 6th place. And Mark Walls right there coming to the line. 1 lap to go, presented by Northwest Racing Series. White flag is in the air, and there is not much going on in the way of battles here for tonight's win. We thought we might have had a battle there between Jeff Stabnow and Mark Walls, but it didn't pan out that way, as it's going to be Mark Walls securing his spot, but so will Jeff Stabnow based on points, as he will point himself in. Josh Coley sitting back again in 12th place, 1 lap down, just not having a great night here tonight. Had a good start, just didn't finish out the way he wanted. But Mark Walls coming to the line, and he will do it right there. Mark Walls in the 48 machine will be your race winner here at Auto Club Speedway, locking himself in with the win to the next round. What a race here for the 48 and the 22. Them two battled forever, and in the end, Mark Walls gets the win, followed by Jeff Stabnow and Chris White will be your top three. We'll be talking to them here in just a few moments. But before we get over to that, we want to go ahead and go through your unofficial race results here for tonight. Again, getting the win here tonight is going to be the 48 of Mark Walls. Second place is going to be the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. Third place will be the 00 of Chris White. Fourth place will be the 4 of Brian Barnes. And fifth place will be the 7 of Brett Johnson. Sixth place will go to Jason Berg. Seventh place, James Paulson. Eighth place, Stephen Paulson. Ninth place, Corey Walters. 10th place, Daniel Masters. 11th place, Sean Breitzman. 12th place, Josh Coley. 13th place, John Ottenbacher. 14th, Casey Tillman. 15th will go to Scott Hutchinson, who did not start here tonight. And, of course, 16th place going to Dan Stuzzi, who did not start as well. Give us just a moment. We will be right back here with your post-race interviews coming up here in just under a minute. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here with the post-race show. And what a race it was, as we had to stay hydrated in this one. Lots going on. Caution-free here at Auto Club Speedway. And again, just an outstanding race. And we have our top three drivers here to talk to. And, of course, starting with third place, as always, we'll get that information pulled up onto the screen for you. That is the 00 of Chris White. Started third, finished third, pretty much stayed right where you were all night long here. And I believe if we do the math, I don't think, yeah, you did lead one lap here tonight. What was this race like here near? I know we were planning on having the day-to-night transition, but due to the iRacing beta not wanting to cooperate, it ended up just being a night race. So did that change your strategy up, and are you ready to move on to the next round?
Yeah, Charles, this was it was a solid race for the SimStar Chevy Camaro tonight. It's a fun track to drive. Lots of room for racing, passing. Awesome, the race went green. It's cool to see that. I felt I had a little bit better car on the longer runs. I felt I was kind of closing in on them too, Jeff and Mark, but that could have been because they were battling side by side and losing a little bit of track time here and there. But I felt my best shot was to make sure I hit pit road there when they did on that final stop, and I did gain some time, but they kind of pulled away with it. I did scrape the wall a little bit, and I don't think you caught it, but with about 6 laps to go, I went right through the infield grass, and I thought I had lost this third place finish, but saved it. So here we are.
Well, we may have to go back and look at that. We did not catch that as there was so much going on all over the place. But with that, we did confirm that you are sitting in 4th place in the points. I don't know if all bonus points are tied in there, but fourth place means you are in the next round, of course. So points will get reset here, and we will start it over again. So kind of a fresh slate, you might say. But that being said, coming in to the next round, we start off with Iowa. So how do you fare at Iowa in your opinion, and do you think you have a good shot at getting the win there?
I think all these guys that are running in the chase, even those that are outside the chase, we're all out here running for wins. We're running strong. Everybody's competitive. It's tough. Wins don't come easy. You definitely have to prepare and get there, show up and hit your marks. Just be patient. Iowa is kind of a short track racing, I guess you could say. It's a fun track as well. The next tracks coming up are fun, so we'll see what the next round brings. It's just a good accomplishment to once again be advancing, and hopefully we can make it to the final championship race.
Definitely, we'll be watching for that to see who all's in there. And, of course, we want to give you a chance for your shout-outs and sponsors. So who would those be?
Once again, just running SimStar, the 00 Chevy Camaro. Keeping it going, fighting strong here. I got to thank you, Charles, again, VRN, Virtual Racing Network. Awesome broadcast every week. Thanks to Mark Walls with Walls Beard Co. For putting on the series and keeping this thing going, and everybody that's in the series for coming out every week and also keeping this going. It's been a lot of fun. I did want to touch a note on the whole David Cater thing. I didn't realize what happened until tonight when I heard it on the broadcast, and that's unfortunate. I knew David, raced with him many times. He is a huge icon in the iRacing world. Has done a lot for those that love to race with his setup help. Tons and tons of information's come from him over the years to help people race and succeed at racing. A great guy. That's a huge loss, and my condolences go out to his family and friends.
All right, and again, it was first we heard about it tonight too. So, of course, we send them out. And one driver we talked to earlier tonight, and he was the one that informed us about it. That is the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. And, they say one man's misfortune is another man's fortune, or something like that. We'll digress on that one. But regardless of what the saying is, I think that's right. You had a really good car here tonight. And obviously Josh Coley started ahead of you in the race, and it looked like for there a minute he might have a good battle to figure out who was going to be in. In the end, he had a little misfortune, and you were able to get a big enough gap. So you're in the chase, moving on. So are you ready for these points to reset and regroup for Iowa?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't like being on that cut line, man. I'm ready to reset, regroup, and get a little cushion back.
Well, definitely a cushion is nice. You started fifth here tonight. You did get as high as first, and you actually led the most laps here. You led 35 laps. But again, points going to reset, so we'll see how that all shakes out. But you are in, and that is the important thing here. So obviously, practice went into this for practicing for it to transition from day to night. So knowing that the iRacing beta had a different change or a different mindset, it wanted to do what it wanted to do. Did that change your strategy here, and did it make it for the better or the worse?
We did some testing with the transition before we tried to put it in. The track tent wasn't changing in the area that we were using. It was more of a visual thing that we thought would be pretty cool for you on the broadcast. So it didn't really change anything. The track temp was the same.
Well, definitely we like seeing the sun go down. It does make a cool aspect, but unfortunately it just didn't want to work for us here tonight. That is unfortunate. But we thanked you in the stream, and we'll thank you again here at the end of the stream. Obviously, we've relied on you quite a bit here with your knowledge bank, the Beard of Knowledge over here, helping us out. So hopefully the stream looks really good. It went flawless here tonight. So big shout out to you for that. We know we probably pulled a lot of your time, but everything's looking good. So we're going to give you a chance here to give those shout outs and sponsors you have on there, and we're going to get ready for round 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll just make another pass at the same shout outs there pretty much. First and foremost to the Cater family, and iRacing in general. I think, as Chris said, we lost an icon. I don't think there was anybody that was more helpful to new people in sim racing, especially those that got into open setups. I don't think anybody provided any more help or information than David Cater. I know I reached out and he helped me a couple times. I never hesitated to help. I know Mark had a much closer relationship with David Cater, and I'm sure he's got something to say about that. But it's a devastating blow to everybody in the iRacing community here today. So, first and foremost, I know he didn't have life insurance, and so the family's got a GoFundMe page out there to try to cover some burial costs. He couldn't get life insurance because of his health problems. So, if anybody out there is watching this and knows who David Cater is, there is a GoFundMe page out there to help with the funeral expenses. Big shout out to my family. I know I got full family watching this tonight. Nephew Alex there in Iowa. Mama Stabnow is out there, and of course my brother. He's out there watching this too. So kind of cool to have a fan club out there for tonight. Big shout out to Walls Beard Co. and VRN for all the work they do to help us put this on. VRN, I know, Charles, you work tirelessly to make this stuff right. So jumping in and giving you a hand is the least I can do. And Mark with Walls Beard Co. there, been supporting this league and really started this league. And the only reason we're around is because of Walls Beard Co. support. So big thanks to them. Everybody in this league that makes this happen. Great group of guys. I think we've had one caution in about the last 2 or 3 races. So just a tremendous group of guys. Hats off to Mark. I ran my butt off. I really wanted that win tonight. I gave her everything I got, but man, that guy's just phenomenal at this track. This is his track. So thank you much, Charles.
All right, well, again, congrats on second place, and moving on to round number 2. Getting the win here tonight is one he just talked about. He was running him down, but just came up a little bit short. Started in 8th place, worked his way up to 1st, led 24 laps. Ironically, led the number of laps of the guy he beat, his teammate, the number 24. Oh, you came in and you took care of business. You're moving on to the next round. How does it feel, of course, to move on, knowing that everything's going to reset? And how do you feel about moving on to Iowa?
Yeah, I mean, I feel fantastic getting the win here tonight, but kind of want to dedicate this win to David Cater. I rode on the quarter panels. We had in memory of David Cater on the race car tonight, so having that go through the field, hopefully get some good airtime and get that out there. He was an awesome former teammate. I learned a lot from him. Done a lot for the sim racing community with the iRaceForLife.org events. Very, very phenomenal. Watched all the videos he's put out for everybody, and it's a real hard loss for the iRacing community. So I do encourage to look his page up for GoFundMe. That's someone who's given a lot to the sim racing community. Definitely look for opportunities to give back.
Well, definitely, and we may, before this, or I can't do it before it's over, but I think we'll look it up and we'll put it in the description down below. We'll probably put it in there for a while to give people a chance to do so. That being said, we didn't talk about it too much with the other two. We're going to bring it up here, though. We have Iowa, of course, coming up. We just talked about that. And then we actually have off for Christmas and off for New Year's before we come back for New Hampshire. So the question is, I know obviously you're going to have a lot of family plans going on, but are you going to take those 2 weeks to do a little bit of practicing? Maybe not for this one, a little bit for this, more for the trucks as well. Or are you just going to take those 2 weeks off and just stuff your face at Christmas and possibly shoot some fireworks off for the New Year?
Yeah, for this series, I'm taking it off. I take it off always. The first laps I put on this thing tonight were in qualifying, so we just kind of load and go, hope for the best. Sometimes I try to get on to get a feel for it, and other times we don't. And got to learn as we go, so we'll just load and see what happens. On the truck side, I mean, we always got work to do. It's a little different story when we get set up to your driving style and get max amount of speed as you can. So we'll be looking for the trucks to be on tracks and practices.
Well,
but I'm looking forward to Iowa. Iowa is probably, again, another one of my favorite tracks. I think can ask Jeff about Iowa. I really like that place, so kind of looking forward to that one.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to Iowa. New Hampshire, 2 short tracks coming into play here. Something we're definitely looking forward to. Of course, ending with Chicagoland, not Homestead, so that's going to really shake things up here a little bit. End with the Windy City, so we'll see how that one goes. And if that shakes things up as much as we think, or not, but we know one thing for sure, and that is that you have some sponsors on there and some shout outs. So who would those be here for tonight's win and moving on to round 2?
Yeah, again, thoughts and prayers go out to the whole Cater family. I want to thank him for all he's done for iRacing and the iRacing community, and spread his wealth of knowledge, and being able to race with him for a couple different championships and watching him succeed in a few of them. So really cool. And we got to thank Walls Beard Co. and VRN. I think strong partnership for the series and strong partnership in general. And I got to thank the teammates of Wicked Chassis. Yeah, we go out and have some fun with these races, and some of us don't have the best of luck, and got team speak for that, and kind of just go and move forward.
Well, we are definitely moving forward to round number 2, but first we got to get through round number 1 here at the same track, of course, Wednesday night with the trucks. We have a lot of racing still going here before we officially get to round 2 for both series, as this will do it here for this one. What a race it was indeed. Real fast before we sign off here for tonight, we do want to thank, of course, all the sponsors that have made this possible here for the race. Of course, those are ourselves here at VRN, and playing double duty for us and the race, that is Wolves Beard Co. Beard Bomb. Make sure you check them out. Northwest Racing Series, Ohio IndyCar League, SimSpeedShop.com, and of course iBog. Make sure you check out all of these great partners for all they do here to keep us going and to keep this league going. On behalf of the Northwest Xfinity Series and VRN, we'll see you at the next broadcast.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be used in any form without the authorized written consent of Virtual Racing Network. VRN would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.